What's going on, guys? I am the Wrestling King coming at you with the AEW 2020 pay-per-view DVD collection. So yesterday I posted the 2019 pay-per-view collection, and now I'm going to get into the 2020 pay-per-views. And once the other DVDs I ordered from there come in the mail, I can make the 2021 pay-per-view collection. So yeah, we're going to get right into it. This was definitely a different year for AEW, as about the same as in WWE. You know, this was during the coronavirus, and things were shut down. You couldn't have crowds or very minimal people. So, you know, the only pay-per-view that had a full crowd, was Revolution. And this was the first Revolution pay-per-view for AEW. You got Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley up there for your main event. Cody, MJF, and then your Hangman and Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. This took place on February 29th, 2020, so that's pretty cool, a leap year. And this was also a one disc, much like Full Gear 2019. But yeah, this is probably my favorite AEW show that I've seen, like, all the way through. I really enjoyed this show. And I love the artwork too. I love the kind of teal, greenish, blue coloring they put. So yeah, that's cool. You got Darby Allin up there, Dustin Rhodes, Pac, Jake Hager, Orange Cassidy. Yeah, so for the bonus, you do get the buy-in. And then the match card is Jake Hager versus Dustin Rhodes. Pretty good match there. The Spanish God, Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin. AEW World Tag Team Championship match, Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page versus the Young Bucks. AEW Women's World Championship, the Native Beast Nyla Rose versus Chris Statlander. And then you had match of the night, MJF versus Cody. That was really good. Pac versus Orange Cassidy. And then your main event, Chris Jericho versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World title. And Moxley would win here and start his almost year-long reign, I believe. There's your interior artwork, pretty cool. So then, next up, we had Double or Nothing, which took place May 23rd, 2020. And this was the first show for AEW with no crowd at all. You got your purple and your gold, and then you're also, your poker chips. They kind of keep with that with Double or Nothing. And yeah, I like the cover of this. I like the purple, because, I don't know, I like purple a lot. You got Stadium Stampede up here, Inner Circle, and then the Elite and Matt Hardy. Got Brody Lee, Jon Moxley, even have Mike Tyson for the TNT title match. And this was a 2-disc set, and I think ever since this one, they've all been 2-disc sets. So yeah. So yeah, this was a fun show. For not having a crowd, I thought they did pretty well. WWE was doing the Performance Center with no one watching, no one cheering him on, but I think they had other AEW talent kind of making some noise and, making it seem a little more normal. So yeah, there's just your artwork. You got the casino ladder match, Stadium Stampede up here. And now I'll run down your card, but I will go with Disc 2 first. You have the buy-in. So the AEW World Tag Team Championship number 1 contenders match, Best Friends versus Private Party, and then the road to Double or Nothing. And then on Disc 1, we have the whole show. We have the Casino Ladder match. So 9 men, it's a number 1 contender shot at the AEW World title. I believe Brian Cage would win it. Then you had MJF versus Jungle Boy. I really enjoyed that match. MJF's just fantastic. Then you had TNT title match, the finals. Lance Archer and Cody. Cody would pick up the win, be the first ever TNT champion. And Iron Mike Tyson would have the title presentation here. Penelope Ford versus Chris Statlander. Shawn Spears versus Dustin Rhodes. AEW Women's World title match, no DQ and no countout. Nyla Rose and Hikaru Shida. And then the AEW World title match, you had Jon Moxley versus Mr. Brody Lee. And then the main event, Stadium Stampede, Inner Circle versus the Elite and Matt Hardy. So yeah, this was definitely an interesting show, and it was just AEW's take with no crowd, so it was definitely I thought they did pretty well here. I thought they did good for what they could do, And next up, we go to All Out 2020, September 5th, 2020. And this is a 2-disc. And a lot of people remember this as, not the greatest show. Maybe the worst AEW pay-per-view, to be honest. There was not a lot of bright spots here. But you do have a nice cover. The cover makes it look awesome. You got red and kind of some wreckage, I don't know, just flying all over. Looks like some rocks flying. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. I like the cover. I like the artwork. It's nice. You got MJF and Moxley on the spine. Got Britt Baker back here. Brody Lee. So yeah. So I'm going to run down the card, as usual. But yeah, there was not a lot great for this show. This is still remembered as one of the worst shows of AEW's pay-per-views. But for the extras, you got Countdown to All Out Red Carpet Special, Part 1 and 2. And then you have the buy-in, Joey Janela versus Serpentico. And Dark Order's Alex Reynolds and John Silver versus Private Party. And then the main show, we have the Tooth and Nail match, which was a cinematic take for a match and just, wasn't as good as some other ones we'd seen. Then you had the Young Bucks versus the Jurassic Express. 21-man Casino Battle Royal. Broken Rules match, Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. That's where Matt Hardy got very badly concussed, and they tried to play it off and have him come back and continue the match, but just didn't work well for them. And then the AEW Women's World Title match, Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa. You had Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares versus the Dark Order. Then you had the AEW World Tag Title match, Kenny Omega and Adam Page versus FTR. FTR is amazing. They're awesome. Then you had the Mimosa Mayhem match, Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy. Then you had Jon Moxley versus MJF in the main event for the AEW World Championship. So yeah, some things just went bad on this show, and others just were not that exciting. It wasn't the most exciting match. Or not the most exciting matches on this show. Yeah, I do like the back artwork, though. They used to have other screenshots cut up, so it's very cool. Then you have Mox and MJF on your discs. So yeah, that's cool. Cool artwork, just, yeah, not the greatest show from AEW. And then the final show for AEW each year is Full Gear, November 7th, 2020. A 2-disc set here. And Don't Chase Dream, Hunt Goals was the tagline here. Pretty cool cover. You get the gears in the background, so I think it's pretty cool. And then you just have, your title matches displayed here. You got FTR and the Young Bucks, Cody, Darby Allin, Moxley, and Eddie Kingston. So yeah, very cool artwork here. I really think they do really well with their artwork on these AEW DVDs. Really good. So yeah, there's another look. You got Jericho and MJF there. So for the extras, and I'm assuming on disc 2 here, we have the Countdown to Full Gear, and then the buy-in. Yeah, they always put the buy-in on here to give you the full matches. You have the NWA Women's World Championship, Serena Deeb versus Allison Kay. And then the main show, disc 1, we have the AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament Finals. Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page. Then we have Orange Cassidy versus John Silver. The TNT title match, Cody Rhodes versus Darby Allin. I believe Darby Allin would win the match against Cody here. And then we would have the AEW Women's World title match, Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose once again. AEW World Tag titles, we had FTR versus the Young Bucks. The Elite Deletion match, so this was a cinematic match here with Broken Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. Chris Jericho versus MJF, which they have had many matches. They had the AEW World title match, Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. So yeah, a little better than their All Out show, but obviously we still didn't have crowds yet, and we wouldn't get them back fully until, I believe, Double or Nothing 2021. So yeah, that is the AEW 2020 pay-per-view DVD collection. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next one.